Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am just making sure that I'm live and you can hear me this time. So hang on. And you can. Perfect. Done and done. All right. Because we've learned from our past that apparently using the mic that I was before, the way I had it in, it wasn't in there properly. So anyways, tech and me, we're just gonna be, a little better coming now moving forward. So anyways, I'm Heather Clark, your declutter expert, and today we are talking about cheers to order, declutter your way to happy holidays. So like I had said on the last episode that I was going to do the next two, we're going to be a little more cheerful because there's been a few serious times and obviously talk about the trauma and stuff like that. It very much is a big, heavy topic. So I wanted to make these next two very lighthearted, very obviously with the holidays coming up, no matter what you actually celebrate. Decluttering can be done at all times during the holidays. Whether that's stuff, whether that's emotions, whether that's people, whether that is, especially if you are buying presents for kids, you can declutter the stuff that they used to have. So stuff that they don't use. And this is what we do with my kids and stuff like that. We don't do it as much anymore because they don't have as many things anymore. Most of the stuff that, but I will say actually, we did just do with both my kids, we did their clothing. So I knew that, my kids were going to get probably a few things, item with clothing, because now they're older, they're teen, preteen and a teen, and they don't get toys as much. And so what we did was we actually went through their closets and we got rid of the clothes that they don't wear anymore. And we gave them away. We gave some away and now we're giving more away because we're finding more. And my daughter's like, hey, I don't wear this. I don't wear this. I don't wear this. So, and then my son, I had to go through his because children and teens, they so love doing this part. But the same thing goes with your family and your stuff as well, is if you're about to celebrate the holidays where it does include gift giving, go through your stuff and see what you can let go, what you can give away, what you don't use, and especially when it's clothes, what haven't you used in the past 6 months to a year? Like with me, I usually do a year only because I'm in a place where we have 4 seasons. So I figure out okay, if last winter, because I have winter stuff that comes out and then I have summer stuff that comes out. That's basically, and then the spring, fall stuff kind of stays in the closet all the time. But the stuff that came out winter, if I know that last year I didn't wear it and I'm kind of doing I don't really want it right now, then I get rid of it because why am I going to let it sit in my closet? There's no point. If I'm not going to wear it, at least I can give it to somebody who might and give it, again, like I always say, give it the use that these items are made for, or give it a use that maybe they can cut it up into something else and they can make a quilt out of it or something where it's not stagnant energy in your closet, where you're just not looking at it. And a lot of the times I also say too, to a lot of people is if you have clothes that you're gonna fit in one day, don't do that. I 100% say don't do that. I just got rid of stuff that I was like, nope, this doesn't fit anymore. Done. Yes, did I love it? Yes, did I used to wear it all the time at the time? Whatever, yeah. But why am I going to keep something that reminds me of the past times, of the past weight I was, or the past whatever in my closet? So I continue, and it may not even be consciously, subconsciously, you might see it hanging in your closet and you might think, oh, yeah, I remember when. And again, you want your house, your space, your stuff to bring happiness, to bring, oh, I feel great in this outfit. I feel great doing this. And the same with the toys, same with the stuff that you have. If there's any books that you no longer read, and now is the time to start clearing those out because there's other people that, maybe they don't have as much money or whatever the case may be. And maybe you can give it to somebody and be like, because I know my books, they're 9 out of 10 of them are like spick and span, beautiful. I'm not the type to write and draw or anything in my books. So I know any books I do give away, they're going to be in an almost prestige order. And like, I've got a set that my son no longer wants. My daughter doesn't want it. And it is a beautiful set. He took care of it. He did well. He read them all at the time, and now he doesn't. So I was like, can we give this away? And he's like, yeah. And it's a beautiful set. It's a beautiful, what is it called? I forget what the set is called. But it looks brand new because he took such good care of it. And that's the other thing too, is taking care of your stuff so that it does last you, so that you can, you know, give it away to somebody and it can still have multiple lives to it, multiple people's lives that it can affect. And another thing is too, like I said, with the toys and stuff like that, it is so easy. I remember doing this with my kids every year, and it's not just Christmas. It's not just whatever. It was birthdays. It was Easter. It was Christmas. Anytime I knew my kids were going to get toys or were going to get something as a present for a holiday or, like I said, their birthday or whatever, this is what we do. We say, okay, what do you have that you no longer use? And can we give it away to somebody? Can we give it away to another, another kid who is that age? Like, some of the toys my daughter just gave me, I haven't seen her play with them for like a couple of years. And I'm like, where was this? She's like, oh, it was in the closet. I'm like, ma'am. So again, even though, we are the experts and, the kids aren't the experts. The other people aren't the experts or anything like that. It's just a matter of knowing that you get to start afresh, that you get to say, okay, these things I'm no longer going to use, or the kids. And they say, yep, and if you need to do a spiritual side of it and, thank the item for giving it what it has, for allowing, let's say it's a board game. You guys no longer play the board game. We just gave one away. But it was a board game that we used to play and it was great at the time. But now the kids want to play other games, and we still have tons of games. But that one in particular, we're like, no, it was a little young. Like, it's a little young for the kids and for us or whatever. So we're like, no, let's make sure we have all the pieces, put them all back in, neat and tidy, whatever. And yeah, and we were able to give it away because we don't use it as often. There are some that we'll never give away, but there are other ones that were like, no, we've played this, we've had good times with this and stuff, but that was when they were younger. And now, and this is what we did just recently too, is going through all the board games and just making sure. And of course, as you go through these things, my daughter started playing Twister. She was like, can you play with me? I'm like, no, I'm not. Today is not the day to play Twister and to have mom twist in positions that she just, I was sore that day. So I was like, no. I'll spin for you though. Don't you worry. So anyways, but again, when was the last time we played Twister? Probably 5 months ago, 6 months ago, maybe even more actually, now that I'm saying this, because we play other games. We were like, every once in a while we get into this like, oh, we'll play this game and we'll play it all the time. Like, I mean, all the time. And then all of a sudden we won't touch that game for like 6 months to a year, but I'm not going to get rid of it because I know how much we played it, unless it gets to a point where I look at the kids and I'm like, is this something we all would play, or are we done with this and we can let it move on? Again, thank it if you need to, appreciate the fact of, what it has brought you, the joy it has brought you for whatever. Or Monopoly, let me just say, is not a game that comes into my house. I don't know about you guys, but the memories I have of Monopoly from when I was a child were not good. Monopoly just seems to be that thorn in my side of a game. No matter, I don't care if it's Grinchopoly, I don't care if it's, any of those other crazy, but the concept's the same, and it seems to have a way of having people argue, and I refuse to have that in my house. Like, I'm okay with, good debates and stuff, but like Monopoly, I've seen too many people, and I'm not just saying with myself or whatever. I've seen other people that I was like, oh, come play. I'm like, no, I'm good. And you see that they like, I don't know what it is about Monopoly, but I don't know if it's like subliminal messages in Monopoly in the way that it's played or the way that it's set up. But yeah, that is one game that never comes in my house. But there's plenty of games. And before holidays, again, we went through, well, first of all, I actually cleaned out the entire middle closet, which was where the games were. So that probably is the real reason why we were doing the games. But with your family and with your kids, making sure that you going through these things, that, okay, you're about to have a holiday. And even if they're only having one or two extra gifts for the Christmas holidays and stuff like that, or Hanukkah holidays, or any of the holidays that are happening in the next month, you just want to make sure that you're not just continually adding and adding and adding and adding to the pile without taking inventory of what you actually have, what you actually play with. Because when you keep adding and whatever, and let's say it's in a closet like ours is, it's in the corner of a closet, works perfectly there actually. If I was to just leave all that stuff there, and it sits there, and the energy that it absorbs, and the energy that and again, the dust, the dander, all that stuff too, if we don't go in, clean it once in a while, and evaluate and take inventory of what we have, then it's just going to sit there, and that's stagnant energy. And that's, depending on, again, if you are spiritual or if you understand the Bagua map and stuff like that, it's, do you understand that where those things are sitting in what area of your home, and is that being affected in your life type thing? So you want to look at those things, and holidays always seems to be the best time to do that. Why? Because we're already in a moment of, okay, let's go, let's get things done. We got to clean up. We got to, family's coming over. And so this is the perfect time to actually look at your inventory of your stuff, whether it's your clothing, whether it's dishes in your kitchen, whether it's serving trays, whether it's pots, pans, spoons, forks, whatever the case may be that you use for holidays. Do you still use it? Or can it be given away to somebody who will use it? Like, I just got a couple of new dishes from my one aunt, and she doesn't use them anymore. I'm absolutely going to use them. At minimum, I'm going to have them because they're gorgeous. I absolutely love them. And I'm going to have them on display. I'm now re-evaluating my little, well, I call it the sideboard, but it's not really, it's just a table right now. But I'm revamping in my head. I'm like, okay, what do I already have? Can I take apart this desk that we've already decided we're going to get rid of? But can I use those pieces of wood and make shelving for this particular thing? So I love the tabletop of this one, but it doesn't have the storage and it's open. So I was like, could I? So it's, again, reevaluating. So I've got this piece. I want to put it on display, but then I'm like, but then there's all these cookbooks that I want to, put away or whatever. So there's definite things, instead of me going out to go find something new, because yeah, I absolutely could. I could probably go to somewhere like IKEA and just grab something like that, and sure, spend a couple of $100 and get something new. But again, for me, especially since what I have in the garage is like solid wood, and what I have here is good wood too, I'm not willing to just get rid of it in the sense of, okay, I'll get rid of that and I'll just get something that's like fake wood, like IKEA's furniture. We all know IKEA's furniture. It's not the highest quality of furniture. No, I'm sure there's some pieces that might be, but I'm not willing to spend the $600-700 on a sideboard area right now, because I'm like, no, that's not something I want to spend my money on. Or could you? And if that's something you've wanted and you're willing to, absolutely go ahead and do that. But I have things that I could rearrange or revamp or, take apart and then put back together in a different form, because I know that the wood that I have is solid. It's good. It's going to last. So if I make it something that absolutely I will use again, and absolutely, can display these items that I was given from my aunt and stuff like that in a way that I absolutely love. It doesn't make it feel cluttered there. It's not open anymore. It's now an enclosed spot. Then absolutely, that's something I'm willing to do. Not everyone's willing or has the time, or let alone the skills to do it too. And the skills is the part where I'm like, I'm actually going to ask my uncle how to do it, because he's very much the skills and the woodwork guy and stuff like that. But for things like that, you want to see, what do you have? What do you have in your home that you no longer use? What do you have in your home that can be given away? And especially, like I said, if it's basically brand new, barely used, or listen, there was a jacket we found that still had tags on, and it was a jacket. I remember this too. It was a jacket that my son wanted. It was almost like a rain jacket type material. But the problem was it was just fitting him. And he likes things fitting a little bigger and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll take it back to the store. life happened and I never took it back to the store. So we had this thing brand new, tag still on. Well, I was able to give it away to somebody and say, listen, I know you just got a major expense right before the holidays and stuff like that. Could your child use this? And because I know that they like that type of stuff that, because they were a few years younger than my son and stuff like that. And I was like, could you use this? And she's like, oh my God, yes, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is perfect. He loves this kind of stuff. I was like, yeah. I was like, I know that it didn't, I'm like, and we didn't get to it. I didn't get to bring it back to the store. There was no way I was going to be able to bring it back to the store now and get any form of credit. So I was like, take it. It is yours. It is beautiful. It was, like I said, it was a really nice jacket. So things like that, like if you have those things in your home that you're just not using anymore, or you forgot, like I did, to return it back to the store, and you have the ability to give it to somebody else, because especially near the holidays, there's a lot of people that are struggling. And if you can help somebody not struggle or help somebody, to me, that helps me. And it helps them obviously as well. But it warms my heart. Like there's another program that I'm helping with now. Again, do I have a ton of money to be able to do this yet? No, not yet. But I have the stuff that I'm like, okay, I kind of did like a stockpile and like soaps and hard candies and this, that, whatever. But there's a seniors program now. Because again, in the holidays, seniors get forgotten. Some seniors don't have families. Some seniors don't, whatever. So that's one of the things that I'm doing is I was like, okay, I was saving this for me, but I don't need all of these right now and whatever. So making little, senior gift bags. And there's a whole entire program that's local to me. And that's exactly what I've been, any of the extra highlighters we had, because, the kids never use them for school. Ben doesn't like using them. Sorry, I just said my son's name, but anyways. But he doesn't like using highlighters. He's, whatever. So I was like, okay, so we've got all these. They've never been used. And highlighters are much easier for seniors to use to highlight, word searches. So yeah, we included in those. We've got a bunch of pencil crayons that, the kids, because, kids get stuff from dads and from my place and stuff. And it was just, way too much. And I was like, no, let's give this stuff away to somebody who can use it, who can whatever. And majority of it was brand spanking new, never used. And that's where it came to okay, guys, we've had so much stuff that, and I say so much stuff, like, again, it's markers and stuff like that. So but there are some people that buy so much stuff and they never use it. And then come the holidays, you're getting more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. And if we never take the inventory of what we have and what we use and what we don't use, then we're just going to continue to add and add and add. So just as a heads up, the holidays are the best times to do these things. Birthdays, like I said, are another one. I always like taking inventory as well during the season. So when we go from fall to winter or from winter to spring, those are the two main times we do, especially when it comes to outdoor stuff. So whether it's the boots, and of course, especially with kids, the way they grow, I take the inventory in that and I'm like, okay, when I pack stuff away for winter, my brain goes, is my child actually going to fit in this in 6 months? If the answer is likely no, then it doesn't go into the winter stuff. Like I don't I wash it, but I don't pack it away. It goes into another bin of, okay, this is stuff that we can give away, because again, with the kids, they grow and they grow fast. Like my son did a 6 inches in 6 months, and I'm like, dude, I didn't even get to. Like, we bought you pants, and now you didn't even barely got a chance to wear any of them. Again, those ended up actually coming to me and my daughter, so it worked that way. But those are the times. So there's definite times, and like I said, the holidays is one of the quickest ways and fastest ways, because you're already in the go, go, go. Let's get the stuff done. Let's whatever. And clearing out the stuff that you don't use that maybe somebody else can use because income's low, they can't afford to get a whole lot of gifts for the family or whatever the case may be, then please donate it to them. Find on your local Facebook group. If there's somebody in help, like I know there's a ton of, like in our group, especially I'm saying this year, I have found that there's a lot more people that have been part of these, what are they called? The hamper programs, because I find that this holiday season has been rough for a lot of people. Now, has it been great for a lot of people too? Absolutely. But I'm finding locally anyways, with my local group that I'm in, I've seen a lot of people requesting hampers than being able to actually donate towards hampers. Now, that's just what I'm seeing in these Facebook groups of mine. Again, I've already got my, like, seniors are absolutely 100% always going to be my thing that I give to. Even if, like I said, it's just a little basket full of, like, Werther's candies, because what senior doesn't love Werther's candies? There's not a senior in my life that I've ever seen, and I've volunteered with seniors for years upon years upon years, that didn't love a good Werther's hard candy. But anyways, that's besides the point. That's like a treat. Like, I think that was like the treat of treats for them sometimes, even with my own grandparents and stuff like that. And actually even some of my old clients back in the day always saw Werther candies, whether they were diabetic or not. That was like, okay, if I'm feeling low on my sugar, I'm going to do a Werther's candy. That just seemed to be the thing. So yeah, so I absolutely made sure that I had a couple packs. And was it a big chunk of change out of my pocket? No. Is it going to make a difference in somebody else's Christmas or whatever this year? Yeah. And does that make me feel good? Yeah. Is it hopefully going to make them feel good? I hope so. I hope that, they know that, and it's the attention that I'm putting towards it. It's like, I'm giving this in hopes that it brings you just as much joy as it has brought other people that I know that, like I said, it's just candies, or it's the highlighters, or it's, anything else that we have, or the soaps and stuff like that. Just, that's what it's about. It's about the intention you have for the holidays. And again, you don't have to overindulge and get your kids a bazillion gifts. 9 times out of 10, like I remember a few Christmases many, many, many moons ago, wasn't my family. And it got to a point where people were opening up gifts and nobody knew that they opened up the gift that they bought them. And it was utter chaos. And I can't handle those kind of holidays. It was just like, woo, no. I like the calm. Okay, I want to see what somebody opens, and what'd you get? Who'd you get that from? And it's one of those, and that's fine. If you love the utter chaos of holidays and everyone's just opening everything and blah blah blah, cool. You do you, boo. But for me and my kids, it was always, I like the quiet holidays. I like the times where it's just the three of us. And it's just able to sit there, enjoy, see their faces, see their reaction, see that, their reaction is, oh, great, I got this again type thing. I'm like, okay, next year I won't get that. Or next time I'm getting that one. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, obviously kids show their facial expressions a lot are more expressive than adults are sometimes. But yeah, like, it's a matter of just knowing that the holidays don't have to mean that you buy a lot of stuff. Like, actually, at one point when my kids were little, we actually ended up doing, one year it was toys, the next year it was experiences. And that worked for us because where we were at the time was teeny tiny place. It was only a 2-bedroom apartment. It was downstairs and basement. It was maybe like 700 square feet is maybe pushing it. But anyways, it was tiny. And so to buy a lot of stuff for the kids wasn't in, like, their bedrooms can only hold so much. So we agreed with the family and stuff. Okay, this year you can get them toys, but next year it's experiences. Then when the experience year came, it was things that, were, what was it? I know there was ice cream involved. There was dinner. There was, like, things, whatever. And then, of course, a kid-friendly, I forget exactly what they were, but a kid-friendly experience as well. And that's usually what I do with the kids when they're younger. Now that they're older, they're preteens, they're teen, literally this year, all they said to me was like, yeah, we just want money. I was like, but all right, fine. You want, if it was going to be just money, then I was going to do, in my mind, I was going to do a scavenger hunt for that money. Like I was like, I'm not just giving you money the regular way. We're going to give it to you in something that's going to be an experience. So it's, yes, it's a gift that you wanted. Cool. Because now at this age where my kids are saying, no, this is what we actually want, I'm not going to deviate and go, no, I think you should have this. No, if my kid is telling me that this is what they want, cool, done. Because I know that if that's what they want, they're going to use it. If I try and go, oh, but this is the off brand, or this is the whatever brand, or what, I know my kids are going to kind of like, because you know what? I'm sorry, but kids are kids. Kids going to high school, going to grade school, elementary and stuff. There's certain things that I would rather spend the extra few dollars on, knowing my child will wear that item. Let's just say it's clothing or shoes or whatever. Wear that item until there are holes in it. That's how often they'll wear it. Versus if I get them the off-brand and they're like, oh, thanks, this is awesome, but they don't wear it as often. And I know a lot of people are going to say and come at me or whatever and say, oh, but kids shouldn't be whatever. I wish that was true. I didn't care about brands when I was a kid. I didn't care about whatever, but kids do now. And some do. And if, like I said, I'm willing to pay that extra bit of money if I know that my child's going to wear it. But that also means instead of 2, they get 1 gift. And they know this and they're very aware of this. And it's very much more of an intentional thing with them and with me when I do ask them, what do you want? What is it that you want for Christmas? And like I said, when they mentioned money, I was like, okay, well, we're going to do it. And then finally, they eventually did tell me a few things here and there. I was like, perfect. But again, with gifts too, with me, it becomes a things you need, things you want, things that can be played with as a family. Like I always do family games as well. So every year there is some sort of new game. And this is why we have so many games, but I love it. And so do the kids. And we always spend the time to play these games, whether it's all of us, whether it's, when people come over, whether it's, just myself and one of them, or usually myself and my daughter. I'm not even going to deny that because my son, he's too cool for that. He wants to have his own games and he plays video games and mom doesn't play video games. So unfortunately, I've definitely tried, but some of the video games that he plays are just, my brain just cannot handle this. But again, it's one of those things is, holidays allows us to reevaluate certain things in our lives and allows us to realize that, okay, I don't use these things. I've got all of these extra dishes. We've never used them for the past 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Why do we still have them? Is it because you received them from grandma and grandpa, or did you receive them from another relative that has passed, all those things, but yet you still have it in the back of your cupboard, collecting the dust, collecting the stale energy, and not on display? Then you're not doing that memory any service. If you've got things just shoved in the back of the closet, shoved in the back of the cupboard, shoved in places that they've been there in the exact same spot for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years, you're not doing yourself the energy or the peace any good. And this is why I always say, like, okay, if you have something that you really, really love and you really, really want it and you really, really enjoy it, put it on display. Put it so that you can see it. Use it. And I'm not saying you have to use it daily, but use it. Don't let it sit there for, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years without even being touched. Because again, if you don't want to use it, there is somebody that can and will use it for its purpose. Like I remember my grandparents, when my grandmother passed, my grandfather was like, listen, if I'm going to give you guys these dishes, which of course I never got the dishes, but my sisters did, because at the time I was not on my own yet and stuff, so I didn't need my own dishes. But he had said to them, he's like, you get these, but you have to use them. Because again, back in the day, there was beautiful china that was always on display and never used and never whatever. He's like, now, if you're going to take these, you have to promise me you're going to use them. because we never did the way they should have been. And that was one of the things that I remember. It was actually kind of cool because I was like, good on you, Grandpa. Now, of course, now I wish I had certain dishes of my grandparents' set and stuff like that. But my sisters did use every single dish, did use it as whatever. Now, of course, my one sister realized that the dishes she got, she couldn't put in the dishwasher. So she had a hand wash, which those were dishes that I couldn't handle, whatever. But I would have loved to have had them to just had a couple of like, display items or like, whatever, which is what I ended up actually getting with from my aunt. They're actually like serving dishes type thing. And so I'm going to use them and put them on display, but I'm actually going to use them as well. Am I going to use them every day? No. But I know when she asked me, I was like, she's like, well, what do you want? Like, what are certain things? I was like, I know I'd actually use this. Because it can go in the dishwasher. It can do this. It can do that. Like, there's certain things where I was like, okay, it has to tick my boxes of like, if I'm going to receive it, I hate hand washing dishes. So if it was a dish that was hand wash only, I can't take it because I'm probably going to forget and I'm probably going to throw it in the dishwasher and ruin it, which would absolutely make me upset beyond belief. But B, I know my limits. I know my limits on things that I would accept and things that I won't, because I know, and before I even say yes to things, before I even, yes, it's free, yes, blah, 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 or whatever, it's like, but am I going to use it? Am I going to honor it? Am I going to take, and is it something I'm willing to, A, wash my hand if it says that only, or B, or whatever? Am I going to give this piece that I'm being asked, do I want? And there's certain things where I've said no, because I'm like, I know I'm not going to use it as often as I probably should, or, just to honor it and stuff like that. But these dishes that I did accept, I know I'm going to use them. I think, like I said, I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And they're very subtle. I'm going to call it subtle. But they're gorgeous in my opinion because they just have like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not even going to go on to that. But there's a reason why I accepted them. And then when she told me whose they were as well, I was like, oh, that just makes it even better. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take these. And she brought them over and now I have them and they're out on display for now, just not where I want them, but for now they're on display elsewhere. But that's the thing, like the holidays, they bring those kind of things towards us. They allow us to figure out what is it that we want still moving forward. And of course, especially holidays at the end of the year, like December, this is the time to go, what am I leaving in this year and not taking with me next year? How can I do that? And we'll talk about that more on the next episode as well. Like that is the good episode of like what's coming with me and what am I leaving behind? And that's usually what New Year's brings. Now, of course, some people say this is just like Western New Year's and New Year's, Lunar New Year's, and that's another time that people do it as well. I'm just saying for now, for 2023, December 20th is going to be all about what are you bringing into 24? What are you leaving behind in 2023? And what can we clear out and how can we do it? And how can we, especially just having the holidays or, well, obviously it's going to be before some of the holidays, but actually Hanukkah. When does Hanukkah? I think Hanukkah ends before that. Anyways, but again, it's, revamping, redoing, even whether it's you, whether it's the stuff that you do, whether it's your business, any of that. So that's what's next episode's going to be. And like I said, it's on December 20th, which is a Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, that is all I have for today. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns or whatever, just drop them in the comments and I will answer as I go. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me, and we will talk to you later.